One of the biggest questions I had leading up to chapter 4 was, is Poppy actually evil? I think a large majority of the fanbase collectively agreed that she was, or will be in some way. I mean, there is plenty of evidence to support this. However, after chapter 4, I'm not entirely sure anymore what side she's on. I mean, there's even a propaganda poster suggesting that Poppy will lead everyone to the grave. Is this true? Honestly, it's complicated, but let's try to see if we can't figure out just how evil Poppy really is. In my previous video questioning if she's evil or not, I suggested that Poppy sent us the letter and put herself in the case to trick us. We would see her as a damsel in distress and want to help, when in reality it would have just been to lure us into the factory and take advantage of us for the prototype's gain, whatever that may be. Why? Because I think the prototype is Elliot Ludwig, Poppy's father. Now, after playing chapter 4, part of what I suggested was true, but I feel a lot differently now considering the new information we have. Poppy revealed through a VHS tape that Elliot Ludwig is in fact her father, and a few other details I'll talk about later. There were also certain things the prototype said to Poppy that could mean he is Elliot. I feel like he is the only other significant human left that could have been used for the prototype's experiment. He can't be Leith Pierre because Leith named the prototype in a catnap VHS tape.
We'll let you out here and there to go see the kids in play care, but your home is here. And as for the prototype, his home is in the labs.
Meaning the prototype was already created while Leith was alive. But the prototype being Elliot is important, that's why I bring it up. So let's take a look at Poppy's plan, because it will help us decide if she's really a bad person or not. She explains it when we first enter Safe Haven. She wants to save these still alive orphans and destroy the prototype by any means necessary. Once us, her, and Kissy have freed the orphans, Doey and everyone else will blow the factory sky high. That's our, rather her, revenge. But you might have noticed the flaw in this plan. Doey and all of the other friendly toys will also be destroyed along with the prototype. Poppy doesn't even mention them leaving with us. So this in itself could suggest she is evil depending on how you look at it. I mean, she's willing to kill the other innocent toys to stop the prototype. This is why Doey stresses his disagreement with her plan. As he said himself, they're people too. Now, Harley also pleads to us that Poppy is the bad person in the story. While inside the morgue area, Harley tries to convince us that what Poppy is doing is going to get everyone hurt. He stresses how she sold us her story, then reveals she knew about the hour of joy. She knew it was going to happen. Harley continues how Poppy has just been stringing us along, betrayed us, and has only told us what we needed to know to do exactly what she asks. All she wants is violence. Once the experiments were free, instead of leaving, they created hell. Seems pretty convincing, right? Like I said before, this is Harley trying to assure us that Poppy is the villain. But it doesn't stop there. Later on, he continues by suggesting she doesn't actually care for us. She would sacrifice us in an instant if she believed it meant getting what she wanted. The only difference between her and Harley is what he fights for gains humanity something. This line from Harley is the most important. You see, Harley knows that Poppy's plan to stop the prototype is going to kill the remaining experiments, his creations. Harley doesn't want his work to be for nothing. If Poppy destroys everything, the Bigger Bodies Initiative will be gone. This is what he meant by saying he fights for gaining humanity something. Harley thinks the Bigger Bodies Initiative will save humanity by giving humans immortality. This is why Harley has been trying to convince us that Poppy is the real villain. He doesn't want her to destroy everything he built. This also explains the Poppy propaganda poster. This was Harley's doing to try to convince the other toys that Poppy would lead them to their death. Which he's not entirely wrong. Even after killing Harley, his last words are, "You saved no one." If Poppy's plan works, almost all of the experiments will die. So that being said, what do we know so far? Why was what Harley said about her important? Well, Poppy's plan is to destroy the prototype, but at the cost of all of the other experiments. What Harley said about Poppy wasn't entirely wrong. He was right, however, he was only acting this way because he wanted to save his creations and the Bigger Body Initiative. So I'm still on the fence about Poppy. Fortunately, the ending of the game reveals a few more details that will help us out. The prototype says he's going to come get Poppy and kill everyone else. After all, Elliot wouldn't want to lose his daughter for a second time. Now, Poppy goes on about how the prototype lied to her, and he says it's because she kept missing the point. The prototype continues revealing that he put Poppy in her case in hopes that she would see things differently. This proves the other part of my video wrong. Poppy didn't put herself in the case. It's always been about her and him, what they are. That's not a truth that can be burnt away. Those three lines are extremely important. But to understand what this all means, we need to take a look at Poppy's VHS tape again. This tape seems to be a place where the experiments can vent, if you will. It allows them to express their feelings, because sometimes you just need to get something out. I say this because Doi has a tape just like this. It's kind of like a confession tape. She starts by saying it was awful, this wasn't what she thought they were going to leave the factory, not this. Poppy is talking about the Hour of Joy, meaning the prototype convinced Poppy that the Hour of Joy was going to allow all of the experiments to leave. This is what Harley was talking about when he said Poppy knew about the Hour of Joy. But the toys never left. The prototype lied to Poppy to get her on his side. After it went down, after Poppy met with him again, he told her they can't leave the factory. Not now, not ever. She then goes on about how she hates him for this, and she hates that he's right. The experiments can't leave. It's too risky. They can never let what happened to them happen to anyone else. Why is the prototype right about not leaving? Because if the toys leave, the Bigger Bodies Initiative will not stop. Other scientists will just continue Harley's work. This also means the prototype might actually not be a bad guy. He just wants to stop the experiments from continuing. Yes, the toys killed people during the Hour of Joy, but to the prototype it had to be done for the greater good. Something had to change for the experiments to stop. The prototype is not a villain. He never was. Which means he took the orphans to preserve their lives. They are asleep, while the prototype figures out a plan to keep them alive forever without turning them into toys. At least that's my idea for his plan. After all, even if the kids leave, word of what happened will get out. This explains why he put Poppy in her case. She was trying to escape the factory after he lied to her. The prototype has been trying to stop anyone, even the other toys, from escaping, even if it means killing them. This is why he wants to kill us, Kissy, and the rest of the friendly toys. It's not because he's evil, it's because he just wants to stop the experiments. So why is all that important? Well, this was the point he said Poppy was missing, the bigger picture. And like I said before, at the end of the tape, Poppy reveals that her father is Elliot Ludwig, which brings us back to their conversation, what they are. Father and daughter. That cannot be burnt away. So all of that being said, we know Poppy's plan, we know why Harley was saying she's evil, and we know the prototype is likely not the bad guy. To answer the question, is Poppy evil? No. I don't think she is. But let me explain. If Poppy and the prototype are father and daughter, I don't think it matters to Poppy anymore. I don't think she's trying to help him with a master plan, considering everything I just said about him. I suggested she was evil because she wanted to help him, but after chapter 4, it seems like they don't want the same thing. I think Poppy truly hates the prototype. This is why she doesn't address him as her father. She is ashamed and doesn't see him as such. She thinks that the prototype is trying to keep them locked away forever, when in reality, he's just trying to put a stop to everything. Poppy is a child. She doesn't fully understand the bigger picture. So, filled with anger and hatred, she just wants him gone so she can leave, even if it means sacrificing the other toys. Poppy misses being a real girl, and she thinks by leaving the factory, she will get her life back. However, we know that's not going to happen. So, I want to ask the question one more time. Is Poppy evil? Who is truly the bad person here? The one trying to put an end to everything Playtime Co. has done? Or the one whose plan will kill innocent lives and let Playtime Co.'s secrets out? That's a tough one, but remember, she's just a kid, so I think it's a moral dilemma. Technically, Poppy is not evil, but is she doing the right thing? Well, I'll let you decide. Do you think Poppy is evil? Maybe in chapter 5, she'll reveal that she's been playing us the entire time and she's just a really good actor. But only time will tell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like horror game content like this, please consider subscribing. Also, I just made a Discord server, so if you want to chat with me, I recommend joining. And if you want to support the channel more, you can become a member. Don't forget to follow my Twitter at TerrifiedT. Thanks for watching.